Most people spend years waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting for motivation, waiting for life to somehow begin. And then one day, they look back and realize they were waiting through their entire life. Your future is being shaped right now. Not by the big decisions, but by the small excuses you repeat every day. I'll start next week. I just need more time. I'm not ready yet. What if I fail? What if people judge me? And then slowly, without even realizing it, a person can spend years building a life around avoidance instead of possibility. Because the truth is, most people are not stuck because they're incapable. They're stuck because fear became comfortable. And that's what we're talking about today. We're going to talk about why we get stuck and how to get unstuck. Because we owe it to ourselves to live up to our full potential and to chase our dreams even if it's scary. Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Kristen, and this is The Expanding Soul, a place where we explore growth, healing, and what it really means to become the best versions of ourselves. Today's episode is over something that everyone needs to hear at some point in life. Because eventually, everyone has to face an unpleasant realization. No one is coming to save you. This isn't because you're alone. It's not because people don't care about you or want to help you. It's because real life-changing power comes from small, consistent acts over time. And that's something that no one else can do for you. No one else can be with you 24/7, monitoring your thoughts, your intentions, and motivating you. You are the only person on this earth who can fully fulfill that role to the standards that you truly deserve. Realizing that the power is in your hands, or rather in your mind, can be frightening. But once you start to utilize that power, that fear can turn into a feeling of freedom. I think one of the most dangerous things about life is how easy it is to believe that you've got time. Time to start the business, time to heal your soul, time to chase your dreams, time to become whoever it is that you're meant to be. Sometimes we let ourselves believe that whatever is meant to be will be, that we're just along for the ride. And we take that power out of our hands and put it into something exterior. Maybe the universe, maybe God. But that power was put where it was for a reason. We're supposed to learn how to take action in our lives, how to chase our dreams and grow our souls along the way. We do this because putting that power of change in the hands of someone or something else, staying in a state of waiting, feels safer than facing the unknown, or safer than failing. Because if you never try, you never risk feeling embarrassed or judged. You never have to finally figure out if you're capable. So you create this mindset that one day you'll start. You have plenty of time. And meanwhile, life keeps moving. And at some point, you look up and realize entire years have disappeared. Because here's the thing. The brain is designed to prioritize your safety over your fulfillment. So it's going to bombard you with fear disguised as logic. Thoughts like, maybe it's not realistic. Maybe I'll get no clients and fail. Maybe now just isn't the right time. And underneath all of those thoughts lies something deeper. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being seen, fear of not being good enough. Your brain is trying to keep you safe by avoiding the uncertainty involved in chasing your dreams. That's why familiar discomfort can feel safer than stepping into unfamiliar possibility, even if your current life is making you miserable. Comfort can be a tricky thing. In small amounts, it's entirely healthy. But in large amounts, it can become more like a trap. Because in large amounts, comfort can become complacency. Complacency is a feeling of contentment or self-satisfaction with your current situation. This is a state where you're overly comfortable and have lost your sense of motivation or ambition. When complacency becomes your lifestyle, it's easy to just adapt to it. We as human beings are experienced adapters. We adapt to bad relationships, self-doubt, unfulfilling jobs, emotional numbness, living below our potential. And at some point, we stop asking ourselves, what do I truly want? And start asking, what can I tolerate? That shift right there changes everything. Once survival becomes the main goal, your dreams start to slowly disappear in the background. And in today's economic circumstances, it's beyond easy to get stuck with survival being the main goal. I mean, shit, we're living in a world where most people are living paycheck to paycheck, doing their best to keep rent paid and food on the table. How can you not live in survival mode in these circumstances? But we have to remember that this is where complacency thrives. This is where it's easy to just give up and say, I've got to make it through this week, or I'll never be able to live differently. So you put it off this week, and the next, and the next. And while it's true, you do have to analyze your own capacity, there is always something that you can do to progress towards your dreams, even if slowly. So we have to schedule at least a small amount of time weekly, somewhere, somehow, where we can work toward our dreams. If you want to start a business, use that time to start doing all of the business planning and outline what exactly you'll do when the time comes. If you want to start working out more consistently, dedicate just that one time a week. Get that one time down and see if you can add more somehow. If you want to buy a house but can't afford it yet, use that time every week to organize your finances, track your spending, eliminate unnecessary subscriptions, create savings goals. Even if you don't have the money yet, start working on it so it's all ready to go when you do have more income coming in. Or maybe you'll organize it so well that you'll find a small amount of money you can save or invest every month. The point is, just start taking action. Embrace the discomfort of the unknown. Real growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. It happens when you choose to be uncomfortable anyway. Think about the best moments in your life. They were likely filled with the unknown, with adventure, with adrenaline and emotion. Those are the moments that life is all about. But sometimes people can not take action and stay stuck for so long that they stop believing change is possible at all. Psychology refers to this as learned helplessness. It's when repeated disappointment, pain, rejection, or failure teaches someone that effort no longer matters. So eventually they stop trying. Not because they're weak, but because their nervous system learned that trying leads to pain. And honestly, I think a lot of adults are carrying invisible emotional memories from years ago. Childhood criticism, humiliation, rejection, being told they weren't enough, being punished for expressing themselves. And now, as adults, they hesitate every time life asks them to become bigger. Because part of them still associates visibility with danger. That's why healing is so important. Because sometimes the thing blocking your future isn't lack of intelligence or skill, it's unresolved fear. But eventually, there comes a moment where something shifts. A person realizes, if I keep waiting for someone else to change my life, I may wait forever. And again, this isn't about isolation. People can support you, love you, encourage you, help you heal, but nobody can build your future for you. Nobody can take the risk for you. Nobody can have the hard conversations for you. Nobody can become disciplined for you. Nobody can believe in you enough to replace your own belief in yourself. At some point, your life becomes your responsibility. And honestly, that realization is painful and slightly terrifying, but it's also empowering. Because if your choices helped create your current life, then your choices can also create a different one. It all comes back to those small, weekly actions. If you do that consistently, those moments will start to redefine your identity. You will start that business. You will get that degree, or take that course, or finish that workout. And over time, after repeatedly surviving and accomplishing the action you took, you'll build your confidence. You showed yourself you can do something hard, so you know you can do it again. Action interrupts fear, even tiny action. So let's talk more about those tiny actions and how we can fit them into our daily lives, because it's easy to not really know where to start. I know I already mentioned scheduling a weekly time to just focus on your dreams, but I'm also going to go over 7 other methods that may be helpful and easy to squeeze into your schedule. You don't need to do all of these. Just pick 1 or 2 and try to be consistent with it. Tiny action number 1 is to define small, specific actions you can take. In order to do this, you'll need to set aside roughly 30 minutes to outline what your dream really is. Write it all out. What do you do? Where do you live? What does your house look like? What people are around you? Then find the common factor. What is it that you need to live the life of your dreams that you currently don't have? I'll use myself as an example. My dream is to have freedom with my time. I don't want to work all day and night. I want to spend my time traveling, exploring, spending time with those I love, laughing, making memories, helping people, and being able to donate to whatever charities I want. So for me, the common factor is money. I need passive income that allows me to be flexible with my time and generate enough income for me to afford to travel and donate money. And there may be more than one common factor, but once you find yours, you then need to think out what you can do to reach whatever it is that you need. So if you're like me and the largest thing you need is money, how can you get it? For me, as a real estate agent, the goal is to save up a solid lump sum that I can use to start investing in real estate and eventually the stock market. But for you, getting that money may look different. Is there a service you could provide on the side? Maybe consulting or photography or even Uber? Or even, can you manage to invest just $10 a month into a stock through Acorns or Cash App? Even a small start is a start. Tiny action number 2 is to schedule 5-minute tasks for yourself. If you can, spending just 5 minutes a day working on your dreams can maintain momentum without you having to feel overwhelmed. This could be making a single call, writing a single email, or even just meditating and visualizing what you need to do to reach your dreams. Even if you can't do it now, visualizing can train your mind to overcome that feeling of resistance once the time comes to take bigger actions. Tiny action number 3 is to reallocate time. Do an audit of how you spend your time and remove things that aren't propelling you forward. Then replace them with things that are intentional. So instead of mindlessly scrolling on social media, make that video content you need, or set up your business email, or call that friend. Tiny action number 4 is to reverse engineer your goal. So start with the final goal and work backwards. What's the step you have to take before reaching it? What's the step before that? And before that? This will allow you to identify the tiny things you can do every day to work toward your dream. Tiny action number 5 is to value consistency over perfection. You are a human being, which means you aren't perfect, and that's okay. You are going to mess up. There will be days where you're too tired or too busy. But don't let missing one day stop you from doing small things the rest of the week or month. Progress over perfection always. Tiny action number 6 is to keep a daily journal where you can write down your goals and reflections. While this may not feel like a step towards your dreams, it really is. Focusing on your goals daily will train your mind that those things are important to you, and your mind will automatically start searching for opportunities in your daily life that could lead you to your dreams. Tiny action number 7 is to celebrate the small wins. One way that I like to do this is by keeping a list of things I accomplish that go towards my goals. This may be a single phone call or a single email, but if it's something that I didn't feel like I had time for or energy for, and I did it anyway, it goes on the list. And as the list gets longer, it really builds up confidence in yourself that you can do hard things. And you subconsciously stop being as afraid of doing those new things. Spiritually, I think life responds differently when you're interacting with it and taking action. Clarity starts to appear after the action is taken. Opportunities arise when you're moving toward them. Momentum appears once you commit. A lot of people seem to wait for certainty before taking action. They think, well, once I know for sure that I can do this, then I'll do it. But that's not how life works. And if you're playing by those rules, by the time you feel ready, it may be too late. Whereas if you take the action now, today, you'll start to notice things seemingly magically aligning with your desires. You'll reach that dream faster, and you'll enjoy more of your life along the way. We discover ourselves through movement, not through avoidance. Intuition isn't some magical feeling. It's that tiny gut feeling inside of you that knows you are destined for something more, something greater. But you can't meet that version of yourself while you're still hiding from your life. So if you've been waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel fearless, waiting for permission, waiting for some perfect moment that finally changes everything, maybe this is the reminder you needed. Your life is happening now. Not someday, not eventually, right now. And yes, change is uncomfortable. But so is spending years becoming someone you were never meant to be. Maybe no one is coming to save your life. But maybe that was never meant to scare you. Maybe it was meant to wake you up. Because maybe the thing or the person you've been waiting for has been you the entire time. And maybe your future begins the moment you stop waiting to become ready and simply decide to begin. And I want to hear when you do begin. I want to know what tiny actions you plan on taking next week and the week after that. So please share them with me. You can message me at The Expanding Soul on Facebook or Instagram. And if you know someone that has been waiting to take the next step, send them this episode. And please remember to like and follow this podcast. The more engagement it gets, the more the algorithm will put it in front of more people who need to hear the same message. I truly do love and appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.